Last lecture we have seen basics of two-dimensional geometry. Why do we really need coordinate geometry and what is its significance? And once we associate our geometry with coordinates, geometry and algebra, how things start moving, that is what we have experienced last lecture. The last problem given was given 2 points, find the equation of straight line passing through it. That is what was the problem. So we will learn to find the equation of a straight line and many other different curves, and the method that we are going to follow is going to be very important in finding out the algebra of different geometries. Say straight line is a geometry whose equation we would like to find out. Straight line is a geometry whose equation we would like to find out. Circle is a geometry whose equation we would like to find out. Parabola is a geometry whose equation we would like to find out. Oh, actually we have dealt with equation of parabola. So here we have drawn the graphs of the relationship of y and x. So we know how this looks like. Maybe in 11th standard we will find out how ellipse looks like in two-dimensional geometry, how hyperbola looks like in two-dimensional geometry, etc. So many different curves, pair of lines, two lines intersecting each other, how the algebra of these geometries look like. Eventually we will derive all of them, but the simplest is straight line. Therefore we will focus on straight line first. Definition: inclination. लिहा तुम्ही लिहा, मी कशाला लिहू. Inclination is an angle. Inclination is an angle through which positive x-axis is to be rotated. Inclination is an angle through which positive x-axis is to be rotated in anti-clockwise direction so that it becomes coincident or parallel, so that it becomes coincident or parallel for the first time. It's called of the line. It's called inclination of the line. It is very simple. Positive x-axis is to be rotated in anti-clockwise direction, and the moment it becomes parallel or coincident. If the line is passing through origin, it will become coincident, else it will become parallel. So for the first time, I mean, you need not keep on rotating and then stabilize at one point. For the first time, then therefore the inclination, whatever angle through which it is to be rotated, is called inclination. So this is theta is the inclination of this line. Another position of the line could be like this. The theta for that is you have a line parallel here. This is alpha is inclination of blue line. Therefore, inclination is going to be between 0 less than, maybe equality at 0, theta less than 180. Inclination is going to be between 0 to 180. Either you allow 0 or you allow 180. It is good to allow 0. You start from the basic position. Suppose your line is horizontal. Suppose your line is horizontal then its inclination is 0. Is it clear? Okay. Definition number 2. Slope of line. Slope of line is distance traveled in positive direction of y-axis per unit distance traveled in positive direction of x-axis is slope of line. Oh, this is good. So, what do we mean by slope? Suppose I have a coordinate system. Every time I am supposed to draw x-axis, y-axis, so that my frame of reference is fixed, and I draw a straight line. So you start at any point of this straight line and go to any other point. Start at this point, go to this point, A to B. You may come from B to A, no problem. So, what is the distance traveled while moving from A to B in positive direction of y-axis is this distance, BC. BC is the distance you have traveled in positive direction of y-axis, and how much is the distance that you have traveled in positive direction of x-axis? AC is slope of E. Now, similarity is going to help us. Suppose we start from this point and go to this point. Will the slope continue to remain same? A dash, B dash, C dash. Yes, slope of the line is going to be fixed. B dash C dash upon A dash C dash. And that is what is this definition. Distance traveled in positive direction of x-axis per unit distance traveled in positive direction of, numerator y-axis, denominator x-axis. But then in coordinate geometry, how do you get this? Let us work on that and then find out what is the slope. I have a coordinate system now. This point is 1, 2. This point is 1, 5. A 1, 2, B 1, 5. Find distance between A and B. Easy. Next moment you should be able to write down the answer. Okay, answer for distance AB is 3. So now I give you point C, which is 2, 2. So how much is distance AC? Again, it is simple because 9. Chukula na? Sorry. I should have given you correct point. It is not 2, 2. It is 1, 4. Okay. अरे 9.
और तुम्ही एक्स एक्सिस आधी लिहिताय की नंतर लिहिताय? Oh sir, तो B point it should be above A.
अरे mistake सभी mistake लगी सर. I don't know what am I doing. Wrong. Earlier question also was wrong. Earlier diagram also was wrong. Totally new. My fault. Set up coordinate system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So first point is 1 comma, let me take first point 1 comma 2, then it is here, and second point should have been 2, 3, 4 comma 2. This is 1 comma 2, this is 4 comma 2, A, B. Okay, so now I am keeping the distance same, which is 3 units. 1, 2 and 3 units. Okay, so now the next coordinate that I am giving is 1 comma 4, right? So how much is this distance AC? Okay, my fault. AC is equal to 2. AB is equal to 3. Why AB is equal to 3? Because this you are going from here to here parallel to x-axis, and on x-axis we have our unit of measure available. You compare it with it, or what we can theoretically say, if I really want to get it into geometry and say why distance AB is 3, is because you complete this parallel. And because this is 3 from here to here, this is 3. OPBA is a parallel. Etc. I think that this is simple, so I am not spending time on that. AB is equal to 3. Do you understand? AC is equal to 2. Yes. Now the question is, how much is BC? Big boss Pythagoras is helping us to find out the first very important formula in two-dimensional geometry and distance between B and C. Points B and C is root 13, because this was 2, this was 3. By Pythagoras theorem, this is root 13. Okay, let me ask you another question. There is a point here, P. Forget about this P. This P has coordinate x1 comma y1. And there is another point here, which is Q, whose coordinates are x2 comma y2. Find distance PQ. Root of x2 minus x1 bracket square plus y2 minus y1 bracket square. Why? Because of Pythagoras theorem. Okay, good. Okay, so hence find slope of BC, line BC. Because we were not aware how to find out the distance. Now you know that, therefore, what is the slope of BC? The mistake here is the sign is important. Sign of the slope is important because scanning from left to right, scanning from left to right was our strategy. in finding out solution set. So when you are moving on x-axis from this direction to this direction, okay, so this is what is your positive x direction. When you are moving on y-axis, this is your positive y direction. Do you understand? And therefore, if you are moving along positive x-axis and moving along positive y-axis, then it is going to be positive slope. Now slope by our English meaning also is positive when you are climbing up. चढाव चढाव म्हणजे पॉझिटिव्ह स्लोप, उतार म्हणजे निगेटिव्ह स्लोप. This is positive slope scanning from left to right, you are going from left to right, so it's positive slope. And if you are going from left to right like this, it is negative slope. And therefore now if you refer to this diagram, from B to C, if you are going, then it is a positive y direction. Correct. So maybe numerator is 2, positive y direction. However, from B to C, when you are going, it is opposite of direction from B to C. So distance traveled is -3, and hence slope is -2/3. Very important. Now find the slope of line CB. What will be the answer? Tell me what is the answer. What will be the slope of line CB? Slope of CB is again going to be equal to -2/3, because if you see C to B, you are going negative direction of y-axis, therefore -2 units, and positive direction of x-axis +3 units, therefore numerical value of slope does not change. Okay, now the next question is find the slope of this PQ. PQ. P is x1, y1, Q is x2, y2. That is the easiest thing that I can ask you now. So you are supposed to remember this formula. Distance formula is extremely important. You have to remember it. And slope. Slope of line is normally denoted by letter small m, which is given by either you can say y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, slope of line PQ, where P is x1 y1 and P is x2 y2. Right? So this is important formula. Now, the moment I define slope, I need to be little careful, because slope is a ratio. What do you think will be slope of line? Find slope of AB if A is equal to 3 comma minus 2 and B is equal to 3 comma 7. Find slope. Records. Now you will find that y2 minus y1 is 7 minus -2 is 2. upon 3 minus 3 is 0. Therefore, the situation becomes 9 upon 0, finite upon 0. This in mathematics is illegal and hence called undefined. No other word is to be used here, undefined, because you have read something somewhere and you will say that this is plus infinity, then it is wrong. It is not correct. Okay, so the word that it is you are supposed to use in case where you happen to have 0 in the denominator and finite number in the numerator, whatever that ratio is illegal in the existing mathematics that we are learning, pre-calculus mathematics that we are learning, and we have to use only one word, undefined. Don't get into using more than one words. Okay, so there are two families of straight line in XOY plane. In XOY plane means the plane under consideration where there is x-axis as well as y-axis. So in the plane under consideration, there are two types of lines as far as slope is concerned. The ones who have slope and the ones whose slope is undefined. So every time slope related discussion gets into this two-dimensional geometry, you are supposed to deal with two situations. One, the line having slope, the line having slope m, well defined, and another case is lines parallel to y-axis. Okay, good. Now, we have used this word in geometry, locus. Okay, are you all aware of this word in geometry, locus? Yes, we have seen it. We have seen it several times. Locus. Can somebody tell me one theorem where we have used this locus? Can somebody tell me a theorem, or maybe can you tell me definition of circle? What is the definition of circle? Now, when I ask definition of circle, somebody will say it is points equidistant from a fixed point. Okay, so you have to have a fixed point and you have to have some distance. This is R, this is M. And somebody will start saying definition of circle like this, points equidistant from a fixed point. Then maybe one or maybe another point, this is not circle. So we have to say, and maybe if you take a tennis ball, there is a something like this on tennis ball, and all the points on that line, this line, they are also equidistant from a fixed point, but that is not a circle, it's a sphere. Therefore, it should be in the plane. And the plane and all the points that you are considering are also supposed to be in the plane, and they are supposed to be all the points. So you are not supposed to pick and choose few points which are equidistant from M. We will not call that as a circle. However, we will call this geometry as a circle which is equidistant, all points. So all equidistant and equiplanar. These are three important words in definition of circle. However, because now it's a geometry definition, therefore if I start drawing circle from this point without lifting a pen, I will reach this point, right? And therefore it's the locus. Locus is a path, it's a route through which that point moves in the plane. Okay, so it's the locus of point. Equidistant EQUIDIS from a in a given plane. Okay, that is what you can remember as definition of circle. So this word locus is important. Locus word is important. And for explaining locus, when I was teaching geometry, I used to draw a couple of pictures like this. I will draw one of them today. Suppose I have a ceiling fan. Okay, and you have an insect sitting here. Okay, now insect is moving from this point to this point, center, because insect knows the centrifugal force, the moment fan gets started, will act on it and it will be thrown away. And because of the laws of physics, if the insect is away from the center, the chances of getting thrown are more if compared to the center. अरे तुम्हाला थोडंफार फिजिक्स येतं ना, बरोबर बोलतोय ना मी?
हो सर.
मला पण थोडंफार येतं, म्हणजे फार नाही येत पण थोडं येतं. ठीक आहे, ओके. सो therefore insect decides to go to the center. If the fan is off, not moving, then the locus of this insect is from here to here, the path traveled. This is the locus of the insect if the fan is not moving. But if the fan completes one rotation, by the time insect moves from this place to this place, then the locus of the insect is going to be like this. Do you agree? If it completes 2, then it will be like this. 2 rotations. If it completes 3 rotations, then it is difficult, but let me try. 1, 2, 3, and done. So these are different loci. Plural of locus. Understood? Path.
Yes, sir.
So that is not easy curve. It is difficult curve for finding out the equation, but that gives us clear understanding about what locus is. And in two-dimensional geometry, we will use locus because locus is a property of the geometry that we are talking about. Circle is a geometry, and we want to convert circle into algebraic equation. So what is the via media? How do we convert geometry into algebra? Through English that we know. Therefore, locus is important word for us. Suppose now I want to find out equation of straight line. Can you use locus word and find out a straight line in geometry? Do you know any locus which is a straight line in geometry? Do you know any locus which is straight line?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bolo. What is the locus
Perpendicular bisector.
which is a straight line in geometry? Perpendicular bisector. If
Perpendicular.
you have 2 points or a segment joining 2 points, you find out all points in that plane which are equidistant from these 2 endpoints of the segment. And we know geometrically that it is a straight line. Good. So locus of point which is equidistant from fixed points is a perpendicular bisector, but it is a straight line. So maybe these are the locus properties of these curves we can use. Circle, straight line. Now, if you have 2 points, say P1 and P2, and if you have, see, I don't know whether you have learnt it or in school or not, but suppose these are the 2 pins. 2 pins are there like this. One pin is here, another pin is here, pin. And I have tied up a small thread to these two. Okay? And I am looking at it from top view now. So I have a thread like this, and I am putting a pen here, pen. Using the tip of the pen, I am stretching that thread. Do you understand? Shall I draw something like this pen? If I put it here and stretch it, it will become like this, right? So that is what is this. And then, because it is a thread and the pen is inside that thread, I can keep moving my pen like this, keep moving my pen like this. So at any moment, if you check, the length of the thread is going to be fixed and they are in stretched position. Maybe here they are overlapping each other. Maybe over here they are overlapping. And then if you keep doing that, you will get some geometry, that is ellipse. So if I say that this point is P, point which is moving is P, then ellipse is a locus such that PP1 plus PP2 is equal to constant. Array, do you understand this? That is how the ellipse is drawn in school. Ellipse. If PP1 minus PP2 is constant, it's hyperbola. It's a locus, hyperbola. Maybe you can say locus of a point equidistant from a fixed point, and if we don't say in a given plane, then it is a sphere. Every point on the sphere is a locus. Do you understand the meaning of locus? Very important.
Yes,
So
yes.
you have to have some algebra associated to the locus property of that geometry. Now, as far as circle is concerned, the distance from a fixed point is constant. As far as ellipse is concerned, summation of two distances is constant. As far as hyperbola is concerned, difference of two distances is constant. Right? So if we use these conditions, whatever the condition that we are putting for that locus, therefore, in case of perpendicular bisector, the distance of any point P from P1 is exactly same as that of P2. That is constant. So PA or PP1 is equal to PP2. That is the geometric condition. So geometric condition is going to help us in finding out algebraic expression, and that is what we will try to do that now. Okay, so the setup is going to be like this. Setup is point is moving in the plane whose equation to find out. So if I want to find out equation of the curve, I will solve locus problem. Solve locus problem. Let us do it. Now let us do numerically first. Suppose I have point P1 1, 3 and point P2 4, 5. Okay, and I tell you without giving you any training, I tell you find the equation of perpendicular bisector of P1 P2. Okay, so try your level best. After that I am going to teach you how to do it. Okay, let me solve this problem in detail on board, and that is the maybe the last problem that I will solve. But all of you are supposed to solve the next all problems like the way I am going to solve it on board. It's a locus problem, and every locus problem is to be solved like this. First statement of the locus problem is, what is the question? P1 is given, P2 is given, and perpendicular bisector of P1, P2 is asked. Okay, so it's a locus of a point equidistant from fixed points P1 and P2. Let me write solution of any locus problem will look like this. First statement is, let P x dash comma y dash belong to required locus. Locus turn out here S. Required locus S. That is the first statement. Then geometric condition. What is the geometric condition which is given now? Distance PP1 is equal to distance P P2, and that is what we are good at. We have found out how to find the distance between P and P1. Okay, so P1 is this, P is this, P1 P2, P2 is this. So distance P P1 using distance. Now from here you start using your two-dimensional geometry formulae or the knowledge that you have developed. So distance P1 P2 is root of x dash minus 1 bracket square plus y dash minus 3 bracket square. That is the distance, is equal to root of x dash minus 4 bracket square plus y dash minus 5 bracket square. Okay, now instead of writing it like this, maybe geometric condition you can write PP1 is equal to PP2. This implies PP1 square is equal to PP2 square. So getting into radicals, you can avoid by squaring both sides. When these two guys are equal, their squares are also going to be equal. So maybe we reach this, and then you write x dash minus 1 bracket square plus y dash minus 3 bracket square is equal to x dash minus 4 bracket square plus y dash minus 5 bracket square. Then the remaining part is algebra. Simplify. If you can, whatever simplification you can do, you can carry out that. X dash square minus 2x dash plus 1 plus y dash square minus 6y dash plus 9 is equal to x dash square minus 8x dash plus 16 plus y dash square minus 10y dash plus 25. Now you can observe that x dash square will get cancelled, y dash square will get cancelled, and therefore it remains a linear equation in x and y. So if you bring this 6x dash minus 10 plus 10 minus 6 plus 4y dash, this is 10 in LHS, and 41 in RHS. So maybe you can bring it on one side. It's equal to 0. This is the simplest algebraic form that you have got from these calculations. Now, who is x dash and y dash? Now, what we have done is, geometrically, let me explain. This is P1, this is P2, and you have taken any point which is P, and you have given the coordinates x dash comma y dash. Because this is a fixed point we are considering, which is supposed to be on the required locus. That is the meaning of first statement. Let Px dash comma y dash belong to required locus. Then distances are equal. So this distance is equal to this. So this is a representative point P which we have taken. And we want all such P's. So after doing your algebraic calculations, the last few steps here is, this is another very important line, replacing x dash by x and y dash by y. We get equation of desired locus S. That means we get equation of S. Presently the locus is perpendicular bisector, which is our straight line. So this line is important, because if you directly say that 6x plus 4y minus 31 is equal to 0, it is technically correct because you are dealing with one point x dash y dash. Suddenly how can you say that they represent R? But therefore replacing x dash by x, because x is a real variable now, and y dash by y, which is a real variable. Do you understand? X dash and y dash were not variables, they were specific points. Whereas x and y is a real variable, that is a moving point in the plane. Okay, therefore you complete the locus problem. 6x plus 4y minus 31 is equal to 0 is equation of perpendicular bisector. बघा समजतंय का? So I am explaining you not only the numerical problem, how to solve, but I am telling you the method. Every locus problem should have a solution like this. Let me check now if you can get it very quickly or not. Find the equation of perpendicular bisector of P1, P2, where P1 is minus 3, 2 and P2 is 7, 5. कंप्लीट एकदा असं लिहा आणि मग हे उत्तर काढा. नंतर तुम्हाला फास्ट कॅल्क्युलेशन करताना एवढं सगळं लिहायची गरज नाही, ते पटापट होणार आहे. बट ऍटलीस्ट यू शुड हॅव रिटन or solve one problem correctly. Find the equation of perpendicular bisector of P1, P2. I'm not interested in the answer. I am interested in getting you right, complete, correct solution. Next problem is find equation of circle with center at 0, 0 and radius is 5. Solve it as a locus problem. Complete writing the complete correct solution. And then finally show me the answer. Okay. If you solve it as a locus problem, the final answer that you will get is x square plus y square is equal to 20. This is what is the required locus or equation of a circle. It looks like this. Find equation of circle with center at 1, 3 and radius equal to 7. Okay, can you tell me what is the answer for the earlier problem? I mean this problem, x square plus y square minus 2x minus 3y minus 39 is equal to 0. Is that correct?
Sir, minus
Sir,
Minus
minus 6y.
minus 6y.
Minus 6y. Minus 39 is equal to 0. Now next problem is find the locus of point P such that PA upon PB is equal to 2, where A is 2, 3, B is 7, 30. Let us solve this problem quickly. I am not writing all the steps but showing you how to go about it. Easy because the required tools are developed now. Distance between 2 points is known to us. So first statement is let P x dash comma y dash belong to desired locus S. PA is equal to 2PB implies PA square is equal to 4PB square. So x dash minus 2 bracket square plus y dash minus 3 bracket square is equal to 4 times x dash minus 7 bracket square plus y dash minus 13 bracket square. Okay, so practically this is the algebraic equation that you have, and therefore you will get, if we simplify this, we get desired locus. So you simplify and then finally you will get 3x dash square plus 3y dash square. Voila. Then what is the constant? Minus
52x.
52.
52x
2x dash. Then
minus
Minus 46y.
46y dash plus 859. Then you are supposed to write replacing x dash by x and y dash by y, we get desired locus. Therefore equation. So
I did it. सर
Uh,
मी वेगळ्या मेथडने केलाय.
थांब जरा. Now dash काढून टाकायला लागणार इथे आता. Plus 3y square minus 52x 46y plus 859 is equal to 0. So what? This is yet another circle actually. Circle. This is equation of circle. We will deal with this in next lecture to identify whether this is circle or not. We will learn to do that in the next lecture. But we know geometrically that this is supposed to be the circle. Apollonius theorem. Apollonius circle theorem वाला circle है A B internal division point P, external division point P2 P1. So P1 P2 diameter वापरून जर तुम्ही जर circle locus, what will be this locus? It is a circle. We have drawn this in 8th standard, end of 8th standard, around this time last year. So this, if you take any point on this circle, it will be PA upon PB is going to be equal to 2, and this is Apollonius circle. So if we learn to identify the equation which is given to us as a circle, then everything is falling in place. Geometrically we know that this is circle, algebraically we get equation of circle. Geometrically we knew that locus equidistant from 2 points is a straight line, perpendicular bisector. Algebraically we got linear equation in x and y which was perpendicular bisector. सगळं match होणार आहे eventually. Everything will fall in place. And in coordinate geometry, it is going to be simpler many times compared to pure geometry, depending upon the difficulty level of the problem, of course, but it is going to be interesting. So, okay. जयदीप काय होतं तुझं सोल्युशन हेच ना?
हो सर, मी अपोलोनियस सर्कलचा सेंटर लोकेट केला आणि मग त्या रेडियसनी
बरोबर चालेल करेक्ट नो प्रॉब्लेम बट लोकस प्रॉब्लेमने सॉल्व्ह केलं तरी सुद्धा ते उत्तर येणार आहे and that is what is this solution all about. Okay, so that is where we are going to stop for the day. I owe you 9th problem in that question paper solution, and remaining all solutions you are supposed to put on the group. Any questions?